When is Golden Week starting, and when can we expect more information? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. Many of you guys have been asking me, when can we expect more info on the Golden Week celebration, as both JP and Global Dokkan have been pretty quiet about the celebration outside of the original global producer letter that was released around this time last week. JP Dokkan hasn't really said anything at all about the Golden Week celebration. This is basically all we have to work off of. So, as of right now, the only thing we know is that the campaign on both versions is starting on the 27th PST. So, I'm going to assume this means 22:30 PST on the 27th. That's the usual starting time for most events. However, that doesn't tell us much about what to expect, and I think they have a pretty good timeline of how things are going to play out over the next couple of days, as it's been pretty consistent over the last couple of years, minus a day or two, right? So first off, looking at previous Golden Weeks, right, if we look at last 2 years ago campaign, the campaign did start on the 28th of that year and not the 27th, but that isn't that big of a deal. For me, it actually was the 27th just because of the time and how that worked out, but the info for the characters was revealed about 3 days prior to that. For last year, the Soaring Fighting Spirit, this was the Cell and the Goku campaign from last year. This one actually started a little early, if we can find the start date, right? This one actually started on the 27th at 1600 PST, right? So, a little bit earlier than normal start time. But the banners ended up dropping a little bit later, same evening at 0300 PST. So, very, very interesting times, right? And we can kind of confirm all of this for the start time through these two events. We pretty likely, based on the global producer letter, that we are seeing a 27th start time for the release of the campaign, and then more than likely later that evening, depending on your time zone, we'll see the drop of the Goku and the Cell. Now, as far as when we're going to get more information about the characters that are upcoming, because we still have no idea who they are, we can go ahead and jump on over to the news and the Dokkan Twitter, right? So, the first thing to have happened last year on the 23rd at 10 p.m. my time HST, we got the Twitter reveals on both JP and Global Dokkan for Cell and the Super Saiyan Goku. So at this point of me recording this video, we are a little late, as the 23rd was yesterday and now it is the 24th. We have yet to see the reveal, so I'm imagining tonight in about, what is it? I would say probably around 8:30 my time, we should probably see the reveals. If not, by 10 p.m. my time, we should see the reveals. A little bit delayed than previous years, but I will say this year, JP Dokkan has been a bit late when it comes to the reveals via the in-game news and even via Twitter on these simultaneous campaigns. So much so that because Global does theirs after JP does theirs, Global ends up getting theirs like the day before the release of the banner, which ends up throwing their timeline way off. Which is kind of strange, but I will say that it doesn't affect things in the grand scale. It just more like, it just means Global will get their reveals a little bit later, but we will still see the same release for the characters. We can also take a look at, where is it? The Twitter. Last year, we got a second global producer letter a week after the first global producer letter, and we already know that a new one is coming. So last year, the letter came on the 24th at 4 p.m. So I expect sometime within the next 12 hours to see another global producer letter revealing the TURs for the upcoming Golden Week characters. So this will come out before the JP Twitter reveals and later the global Twitter reveals, but we will at least get a look at the TURs. We won't know anything about what they do, but I have a feeling that this is what we'll see tonight. Following that, right, the very next day on the 25th, at the usual time, we did get the information for the Cell and the Goku at 1:05 a.m. on April 25th. It was a little bit later than normal, but I'm going to hope that they actually do the 10 p.m. reveal and not a 1 a.m. like they did last year, but we'll have to see. But that's basically what I'm assuming the timeline is going to be, right? So within the next 12 hours, we should get the global producer letter and the in-game news Dokkan event teasers, right? These will probably happen around the same time. Maybe this a little bit earlier. If not, this will happen by 10 p.m. tomorrow night. And then this will happen later this afternoon. Because they did say 1 week from the previous letter. So I imagine to see this sometime within the next 12 to 18 hours. Then the very next day we should see the Twitter reveals for whatever the 2 new characters end up being. Hopefully around 10 p.m. HST, so that'll be probably, what, midnight PST, so just be aware it might be a little bit late, but we can expect all of that to happen with a bit of a delay on the 26th, and then kicking into the campaign on the 27th. I would say expect the campaign to start by 4 p.m. PST on the 27th, so 2 p.m. my time. This is basically Global's reset, right? If not by then the campaign should start by 8:30 HST, 10:30 PST. So I would expect all of that to happen with the banners dropping later. Last year, the banners dropped. This was the only campaign we had that was a joint campaign where the banners dropped at this time, this 3 a.m. PST. I don't expect the banners to drop at that time. We'll know for sure when the data download finally happens, but no other campaign we've ever had has dropped at this time. This was a weird one-off, so I doubt any others will drop at this time. So I would expect the banners to drop a little bit earlier, but we will know once the data download hits, more than likely early morning on the 27th. So anyways, guys, that is the video. That is just a quick update on the timeline of events over the next couple of days when you can expect to see information on the upcoming characters, who we are all hoping is Goku and Piccolo Jr. from the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, as it does seem that that is what they are indicating in the global producer letter. But we will know for sure within 18 hours, I am guessing. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If y'all like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know. Are you guys hyped for the upcoming Golden Week celebration? Does this sound like, based on what we know so far, something you'd be willing to summon on? Or are you just straight up skipping Golden Week and waiting till Anniversary? Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.